class. This video is going to be a review for the definite, indefinite, and zero articles, okay? I know we have treated this in the previous class, but here you have like the mix of what I told you in the pre-film class and what we did in the virtual class, okay? So it's like a mix of the information you got there and the exercise on your book. Okay, let's start with definite articles a or an. Here you have. We use them when we refer to something that is not specifically known by the person you're talking to, or when you mention something for the very first time. Okay, here you have an example. I would like a cup of coffee. Okay, here it's something that it's not specific. I don't want a specific coffee, a specific one. I just want some coffee. Okay, so I can say it. I would like a cup of coffee. Then I am reading a book. The book is really interesting. Here, when you mention the book the very first time, we use a book, and then you recall the book saying the book. It's really interesting now that you know the book you are referring to. Okay. Then we also use indefinite articles with jobs and professions. Okay. Peter is a famous doctor in Boston. Okay, doctor is the profession. Even though you have famous before doctor, obviously it keeps the same sense. Okay, Peter is a famous doctor in Boston. Then we have the other use. An is used next to vowel sounds. And I'm going to be emphatic on this. When you have the vowel sound, like he is an architect, architect, okay, that sound. He's an architect. I need an umbrella. Here the U letter has the sound, umbrella. I need an umbrella, okay? Why am I emphasizing this? Because of the tricky part that we have to face. Take into account words that start with a vowel letter, but with a consonant sound. In the previous one, I gave you some examples, but here you have some more for you to understand, okay? Like words like university, useful, unicorn, the U sound, unicorn, European, for hour, not hour, okay? Hospital, if you can notice, the H has like the sound we make when we are exhausted, like that is the consonant sound of H. So even though for us Spanish speakers, we tend to think that it's like hospital, like O sound, but no, in English it's hospital, okay? So take into account that. If you have these kind of words that they have the vowel letter, but you have the consonant sound, you're going to use a. Okay, so my little sister got a unicorn for her birthday, and there is a hospital near here. Okay, so don't forget a unicorn, a hospital. Okay, then we have a to refer or to mean pair. What is pair? Like each or every. Okay, for example, if you have she reads 2 books a week, it means that that lady reads 2 books in a week, in each week. Okay, so that is the meaning of pair. Then we have the definite articles, the, okay? When you know that the listener knows what particular person or thing you are talking about, when the person you're talking to understands the reference you are using, okay? Or when you have already mentioned the person or the thing, okay? That they are linked together, that's what I put them together there. Here you have the same sentence as in the previous case of the indefinite article. I'm reading a book the first time, and then you recall that The book is really interesting. Okay, I'm reading a book. The book, the one that I mentioned before, it's really interesting. You have, did you find the book you were looking for? Not any book. You refer to the one that person was looking for. Okay, so then geographical points on the globe like the North Pole, the equator, the south, the north. Also, we use that to talk about rivers, oceans, seas, and ranges. And I repeat, range, it's the group of mountains. Okay, so here you have the Amazonas, the Atlantic, the Himalayas. Okay. Also, when we have a particular thing, one that is unique in its type, okay, and also that it's well known, as the sun, the moon, the Eiffel Tower, okay? One that it's like unique for us. Definite article, the, it's also used to refer or to give emphasis on something that you consider the best, okay? So here you have, Noe is the restaurant. You should go there, like the restaurant. And I put it in capital and underline for you to remember that you have to give it a strong pronunciation. You have to emphasize that, okay? It's not the same to say, Noe is the restaurant. You should go there. No, if you want to mean that, you have to say Noe is the restaurant. You should go there, okay? That to mean, or I mean, that doesn't mean all, okay? For example, the children in my building are very noisy. Not all children are noisy. I'm not generalizing that. I only refer to the ones living in my building. Only that group of children, they are noisy. Okay, so that help us to identify the one we are referring to. In the previous class, we had everything together, and here I tried to split a little bit, and that is why you have here the plural countries. Okay, don't forget that in general countries, like in general terms, they don't need any article, but only in the case of plural countries or when they have the words kingdom, state, republic, and union, they are going to require the. Okay, the United States, the United Kingdom, the Dominican Republic, the Netherlands, the Philippines, okay? Don't forget that issue that we have to treat. Then we go with the zero or no article. When we refer to things in general or generally speaking, like sugar, sugar is forbidden for diabetic people. Colombia exports coffee to different countries, like sugar and coffee in general. Also to refer to sports, here you have football is the most famous sport in Latin America, and I was really good at volley. Okay, not the football and not the volley. Okay, nothing there. As I said before, when you have countries or cities in general, we have no article around. Okay, so we have to say she lives in France. Tokyo, it's the capital city of Japan. There's a beautiful square in Quito called Plaza Grande. Okay, so France, Tokyo, Japan, Quito, they don't need any article around. Then for or when we talk about streets, lakes, or single mountain, and I put it in capital letters, single mountain, okay? Ranges with the single mountains, nothing there, okay? So Mount Everest is the aim for most climbers. Lake Superior is considered the home to numerous islands, okay? Mount Everest, not the Mount Everest. Lake Superior, not the Lake Superior, okay? When we have meal like expressions, when we have like for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for supper, here you can notice that I took into account the things that we face in the exercises that we check in the previous class. Days and months, she came on Monday, she traveled in May. Okay, she came on Monday, not on the Monday. She traveled in May, not in the May. Okay, so take into account that. Then, some extra details that we need to take into account and that I emphasized in the previous class, in the virtual class, when we check our exercises. There is a difference that we need to consider when we talk about hospital, school, church, and prison. Those like 4 special words, okay? I think we have more, but let's focus on these 4 words, okay? When we have, he went to the hospital to see a friend who was ill, we refer to the place. He went to hospital when he had a heart attack, he was sick. Okay, don't forget the, you emphasize the place. If you have nothing, you in the case of hospital, it means that you were sick. If I went to school to talk to my son's teacher, I refer to the place. And I go to school every day at 6:30, it means that you are a student. Or even us as teachers, we can say that because it's like our workplace and it's where you study. Okay, but your parents, they don't belong to the daily basis. Okay, so it's like a special that they visit us and they go to the place, not to the academic training. Okay, that it's different when you're a student or teacher, that you go to give the academic training or to receive the academic training. Okay, so keep in mind the hospital, the place. Hospital, you're sick. The school, the place. School, you're studying, you're teaching. Okay. Okay, some other details around here. Cities. As you can notice, this is the summary of the previous class and the exercises we did together. Okay, pay attention to the special cases I told you about. During the class, I was emphasizing like this is important, this is okay, so pay attention to those details. And obviously, let me know if you have any kind of doubt once we have our virtual class that it's going to be published on Educate. So don't hesitate to ask me. What I'm going to ask you is to have specific questions, okay? Don't random around. No, I need something specific. We don't have much time, so we have to make the most of what we have, okay? So keep in mind, go back, review. You can watch this video as many times you want, but make sure you understand, okay? Don't worry about the quiz. I'm not going to be mean. It's going to be exactly what we practice during these days, and it's going to be online. So maybe most of it will be like multiple choice. So I giving you the chance to get a good grade there. Okay? That's it for today, sweeties. As usual, I want to remind you that I truly miss you, and I hope you are taking good care of you and yours. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, sweeties.